What's up, everybody? It's Matt and Peg coming to you from Faith Evangelistic Center in Leavenworth, Kansas. Peg is my videographer tonight. You may be looking at my hair going, wait, aren't you an Oompa Loompa? Well, actually, no, I'm not an Oompa Loompa. My hair is just kind of, whoop. I want to tell you a story tonight. Many years ago, in the early 2000s, I was driving a school bus for Weston Platte R2 School District in Weston, Missouri. And on that bus, there was a young man one day who looked like he just needed a little bit of talking to. He didn't do nothing bad. He just looked like he's trying to figure things out. And I was asking him a few questions, and he was just needing some direction in life. And the Lord told me to tell him, don't be like the other fish and swim in a cool school. You need to be a salmon and swim upstream. In other words, be your own fish. In our men's meeting that we had in church that we have Insight, the question came up, how do we hear the voice of God? There's all different ways. I identify at least 11 different ways that I know God has spoken to me. He speaks to me directly, speaks to me through His Word. He speaks to me through animals. He speaks to me through books, both fiction and nonfiction. And I ought to know because I'm a fiction writer myself, and many times I'll be writing, I'll go, that wasn't me, that was the Lord writing through me into that book, not only for myself, but possibly for somebody else in the future. But He'll also speak to you through dreams and visions, and sometimes He'll speak to you when giving advice to other people. One of the things that I learned as a Christian is that if you want to get anywhere in God, that you can't always be like the other fish and swim in the cool school. You can't be like other people. You have to discover for yourself who God has called you to be, who God has meant you to be. And for you, and sometimes for many of us, what the hardest thing for us to do is to set down the things that we found to be normal, everyday life stuff, and to pick up what God wants us to do for our lives. It's not as easy as what some people think. It took me 27 years to find out and figure out that, actually 23 and a half, that God wanted me to hang out with a teddy bear. I mean, was God telling me back then? No. But I had to go through a period of transition. I had to learn. I had to learn what it meant to be a Christian. I had to learn what it meant to not be a Christian. I had to learn how to be a leader with people and to be a leader when I had nobody but to lead myself. These are all things I had to learn. And as I went through trials and tribulations in my life, I discovered that I can't always look to other people and ask for their advice and follow it. Because their advice, while it's good advice, may not be the advice that God wanted me to have. So at one point I had to say, I have to separate myself apart from them. Doesn't mean I left church and doesn't mean I wasn't trying to be part. But I had to discover for myself, not through other people, but through myself, by seeking God myself, what it was the things He had me do. And I've done a lot of things that God told me to do, and He was right almost every time. I heard Him correctly, and it took me down imaginable places. Some of us would be like, I don't know if I can do that. But yes, you can. So my message to you tonight is remember, God sometimes will have us do extraordinary things. And leadership often means doing things alone, and leadership often means doing things when everybody else will laugh at you and criticize you, because they're not hearing God like you are, and they're not seeking God on your behalf like you are. I don't know who this message is tonight, but I want to encourage you. There's somebody out here God wants you to know. He wants you to know that He's called you and set you apart for a specific reason, specific purpose. God has made many people and gotten many people to do many weird things including somebody like me to hang out with a teddy bear, but he's got something special for some of you. And he just wants you to believe him and move forward. In other words, quit being like the other fish and swimming in the cool school. Be a salmon and swim upstream. Be your own fish. Stop being a follower and start being the leader that God has made you and anointed you to be. This is Matt and Peg coming to you from Faith Evangelistic Center in Leavenworth, Kansas, wishing you all a very good night. And ask God, what would you have me do? Be brave. Do the right thing. Be safe. Be smart. Have a purpose. You have a good night.